Yes. So the bottom line is a customer has jumped into Skillful. They set up their account in Marketplace. We're good. Now they're ready to let students create. So yes, if you'll walk through from, I'm assuming we still go to marketplace.siminsights and we log in to the platform, but how do we even get to HyperSkill, and then what do you do?
All right, got it. Okay, let's start by sharing my entire screen. All right, so to start with, are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
All right, so to begin, if you have already purchased HyperSkill, you're going to want to go to our website at siminsights.com. You're going to want to click login. Then you're going to log into our actual portal and you're going to log into your account. There will be a login screen if you haven't gone through this before.
So it's not required that I go to Marketplace. What's the difference between marketplace.siminsights and where you just went?
So the difference is that id.siminsights, or really just siminsights.com, is where I can get to the marketplace. This is where I'm able to see like the analytics, all the other profile information, as well as HyperSkill, but you are able to, this is one level up from the marketplace.
Okay, I've never even seen that, so I'm going to start. Okay, so I need to register them through Marketplace, but after that, we're going to go to the id.siminsights.com, and good deal. Okay.
Yeah, and you can get there very easily just from siminsights.com.
Log in.
Yeah, just clicking this login button will take you there. Okay, so from here, you're going to either choose to launch HyperSkill online or go to downloads. If you choose to go to downloads, you're able to download the desktop application or launch HyperSkill into a web browser, as well as get information on how to get the information onto your device, etc. Okay. The result of going through this process is that you will launch the HyperSkill application either through the web or the desktop. Right now, I'm showing you the desktop. The visualization is the same for web, which I'll just quickly do.
Is the desktop app much faster than the web?
Yes.
Okay.
I would recommend working in the desktop application, but the web is an option. And if you are using a Mac device, you must use the web one for now.
Okay. I didn't even know we had a desktop app, so that's great.
Yeah, no worries. All right. So again, I'm now inside of the app. You can see it looks the exact same as this here. Okay. If you wanted to, you'd be able to go into Skillful from here. This is the application where customers would likely be familiar with for accessing the Skillful experience. Okay. I'm going to close this and resume this in the desktop app. So you've decided that rather than using the Skillful application or the Skillful portion of our platform for experiencing our pre-built simulations, you want to try creating stuff on your own. So with this, you would go into this page here, and while I have simulations that I've made in the past, the first thing that you're probably going to want to do is you're going to see that yours is empty and you're going to want to create a new experience. So to start with, you would click this Create New button. You would then name your simulation. And then you would select what environment you want your simulation to be in, whether that is in a lab, an auto center, in a classroom, a race course, or anything else. These are what we have pre-built into our simulation or into our platform and experience. But if you have and desire to create your own, you are able to do so. So if I go here to my private selection, I have some additional ones that are not available to the public and are ones that I have uploaded into my own account. And however,
you created them?
Yes, I created them and uploaded them directly into here and did not share them with the greater public.
Is that because you're Chris, or are you saying a general teacher could create their own?
A general teacher could create their own. Going back a step, a general teacher could also upload their own private assets that exist only for them. These are ones that I've uploaded and do not exist in the general repository because they're ones that are only from me or my experiences.
And those are OBJ files?
OBJ, FBX, STL, PLY, any of these alphabet soups. You're able to upload your own assets here.
Okay.
Okay. And through our system, they are just able to be used for any purpose. All right. So when you first create a simulation, it's going to be empty. Example simulation. Okay. So this is the simulation I have created. I can go in here immediately to edit it, or I can click this play button to experience my simulation. Right now it would be empty. I would just be me in an empty room right now. I can also share my experience with other users. So if I click this, I get this window here. Okay, and then I can choose their permissions, whether they are only able to view my experience or whether I want them to be able to edit. Making my simulation public means that I will generate this web URL link, which if I were to distribute this, others would be able to experience this as well. All I have to do is click send, and that's gone through. I'm also able to download the experience to my device. This is only doable on the desktop version. If you're on the web, this will not be available as an option. I'm able to duplicate the sim, which will create a copy of it in its current state. I can rename the simulation, do something else, and you'll see it'll update, and then I'm able to delete it. Okay. So let's quickly go into a simulation that I have actually built, and I will quickly go through the process of how that was done, as well as reproduce some of the steps very quickly for this purpose because of how it functions.
Do you want questions now or at the end?
I'll do at the end, or I'll do once I move on to the next, or once I'm here. You know what? Ask questions now.
Okay, I'm backing up. You logged in as a classroom teacher.
Yes.
And they credentials. Okay, so we've marketed this and said, hey, your students can create a simulation. But we've also said, hey, students don't have accounts. How would a student gain access to this?
If you want to be able to create, you need an account. So,
okay, so a student, if they make that decision that, we want to give these 3 students access, they would go through the same process we've been going through, basically through Marketplace, whatever, creating an account, using their school email. It then automatically shows up with Douglas. He grants them access. Is that what these students would need to do?
Yeah, so quickly going into here, I guess going one step back, if they go to siminsights.com and they click login, they'll be presented with this screen here, and they're going to want to click sign up.
Yeah, okay.
Doing so will create an account, and with a free account, they can do every step that I am currently going to show. Okay. So by just doing this, they will be able to create a free account. And even with a free account, you're able to go to downloads or launch it online. You're able to get the desktop application. You're able to create and upload your own stuff. And every object in this simulation is in the free public repository.
Okay. I don't want them to use free, so they're going to have to make the decision that a student.
Yes.
Schools don't like student accounts because of the data sharing. But again, that's their decision. But you are confirming that Douglas would give them access for these 2 or 3 students that use their school email. They have to verify their email, I guess, once they set up an account, and then they can build a simulation. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
That's the only question at this point. So that's how students get access.
Right. So this is a simulation that I have created videos of how it was created and the entire process of laying out and finding your experience that you can find on our YouTube channel. Very quickly running through this, over here on the left are the objects that have been put into this simulation. The purpose of the simulation is to create a chemistry lab experience where you are performing the, I believe it's called the flames test, where you are able to gather samples with this spatula here, put them into various beakers, and then burn them, and the flames will change color based off of the material that you have gathered. I have added this individual here to serve as a teacher or trainer during the experience that students can ask questions of, and that I laid out in this environment. You can see all the objects here, and very quickly going through it, you can see I've included beakers, some flames to change colors, the spatula, my teacher, and I believe I've put some decorative posters on the wall as well. Okay. So how you're able to add assets is you go into this object tab over here, and you're able to search this, and you can see the beakers I've put are over here. So I just click over there, it's brought in, and right now it's attached to my cursor. And when I left click again, it'll be dropped into my environment. I can then further manipulate it using these tools here in order to arrange and place the object into the environment. I'm able to freely manipulate it based off of these parameters, whether it's their position, their orientation, or their scale. You're also able to delete objects if you've gone through anything else. And these are all the tools that are available to you for that manipulation. Again, these are all of the assets available in the public repository. If I've uploaded any of my own, I can go here into my private repository, and I'm able to do the exact same thing when it comes to finding, placing, and arranging any of my assets that are here. So these are the ones that students themselves may have uploaded, not from our public repository. All right. So after you have, and that's for virtual objects. For virtual people, like Dr. Arnold over here, we have this drop down here, and here are the virtual people that are available to choose from to be included into your experience. All right. So with all of your assets laid out, next you're going to want to create what we call a scenario flow, which is essentially the flow chart of the behavior and instructions that you are giving to the user. So for example, here I'm giving an introduction to the user, welcoming them to the experience and letting them know what it is that they need to do to move forward. And I'm doing some actions here of highlighting the objects that I want them to interact with next. Okay. Over here, they have the option to use either of those two objects, whether it is the safety glasses or the medical gloves. And once they do so, we're going to perform these actions. After they have performed them, we're going to have a bell chime play and then tell them to do the next thing, which is light the Bunsen burner. They're able to go through this process, gathering the samples, burning them, and after they have burned all 3 samples, we're going to conclude our experience and give them their feedback. So that is the entire experience that was made through this. And you're able to easily go here to either edit or create new things, whether that is adding new connection points, going through this process. All of these are the actions that you are able to do, whether they are instructions, turning on microphones, moving the player, moving objects, playing animations, anything that you are able to do here to affect the simulation and instruct and inform the player or change the environment is done through this. Okay, are there any questions before I move on?
No, I mean, this is so much higher level than what a classroom teacher is going to be willing to do. And I realize that's why we created SimGenie. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, yeah. No, I don't have any questions.
Great. There are other tabs for finer control, like these rules here, and AI, if you want to utilize it in your experience. In this case, I've made it so that our Dr. Arnold person here is able to answer any questions that the user has about the simulation, so that if the user goes, hey, why am I doing this, or what's the importance of it, he's able to answer.
Let me ask a maybe hopefully a simplistic question. So what if a teacher, whatever student, they wanted to create an avatar of themselves? Is that simplistic? I know you don't just take a picture of yourself and then import it, but is there a way that they could create one that resembles themselves?
Yes, and we've done that. Let's see. Not in this account. So in the same way, so what you're going to need to do, in the same way that you need or you're able to upload your own virtual objects, you're also able to upload your own virtual people. And you're going to need a 3D model of yourself. However you come across that is going to be acceptable. It needs to follow Unity's
How does a person get a 3D model of themselves? Go Google it or something?
Quite frankly, yes.
Okay.
So you can utilize tools like Character Creator to have it go through their process, and that will output a 3D model of a person that vaguely resembles you. You can probably go further into depth through their widgets and things to make finer adjustments until it looks exactly like you want it to. And when that is done, you'll export it as a 3D object, and you'll be able to then bring it into our system as a virtual person and just drop them in.
That makes sense. Same thing. I don't know that there would ever be an application, but what if a teacher said, "Hey, could we make a 3D model of our school? You know, the outside of our school." So I'm assuming if I could probably Google a way of I'm uploading multiple pictures and it will create an OBJ or something like that.
Yes, that will give you something that you could use. An example that we actually have. Let's see. Yes, and we have done that specifically for UCI, I think. Why would I expect that to be in the public repository? That's silly.
Now, did you do this for UCI or UCI did it for themselves?
This was done by a 3D. This was done by us at the request of UCI.
So what we're looking at is a custom product, which would cost money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we do have listed on our website, but very quickly, just this is their 3D campus. This was, in this case, what happened was they provided photos of their campus, and we had somebody recreate this using a 3D modeling software tool.
Okay.
Is how this one was created specifically. And this is the externals of the building. There's also internals and other views. Okay. Let's see. If you want to experience your simulation that you have created, you can click this play icon here, and that will immediately launch you into the experience, whether it's single player or multiplayer. You have to choose.
Where did you click to go to single or multiple?
I clicked this little play button.
Okay. Am I correct when I tell a customer I know what single view is and I know multi? Are they seeing avatars? If I go to multiplayer, are they seeing avatars in the simulation, or they're just all in this? Yeah, are they going to see?
If I'm in a single player experience, I can't see my own avatar because of
Right.
where my perspective is. If anyone else joined my experience, they would see my chosen representation.
So if a classroom, a teacher wanted to do multiplayer and they all logged in, they would choose an avatar and then they would see other student avatars in that simulation.
Yes.
Okay, because that's what I told one of the schools.
Let's see. Quickly going to our website or to our YouTube.
I did the same.
Mm-hmm. So this is a very quick example.
Classroom multiplayer.
Okay. So you can see that there are multiple people in here. User A, Dev, Varun. The name is customizable by the user as well as the avatar selection. Okay. They're able to go through, interact, etc. Okay. So my name is here, what room I'm joining. You can see how many people are inside that experience. These are the public rooms. If you want to create a private one, you can join or create a new session, etc.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry. So quickly launching my experience. I just realized I'm not sharing my audio. Oh, well.
It's okay.
So again, these are the controls. How to toggle the microphone. If I launch my experience, you have this. Okay. So we are in our experience. We're able to move and walk around. I can click on objects. Okay. So you can see here that the objects are able to change and affect the experience. In this case, I'm burning strontium and the flame is changing colors. He's giving an explanation about why this is happening. Okay. And I'm able to go through that experience.
Okay.
And now it burns green. All right. If I want, I can go here to see everything that he is saying as a history. Okay. Okay. All right. So that's just kind of a very quick sample of what it is that you can create. SimGenie is able to do the same process that we just kind of showed and went through. So if you were to create an experience with SimGenie, it will show up you need to log in with your account first that you
Okay.
created.
Okay.
So it knows where the created simulation is going to end up. And when you create a simulation, it's then going to end up in your account, usually with the tag SimGenie variant of anything that it creates. And then you are able to continue the conversation with SimGenie, have it edit it, or use what it built to kind of take that forward and then continue making your own changes. Which I realize that this is a client thing and I should not show that at this time. All right. Okay. So that's kind of the creation process. There are additional things for sharing and giving access to your simulation that I briefly covered before, using the sharing options. You can use pin codes for greater distribution. But if you have any questions, I would recommend going through our tutorials where I specifically walk through the creation of the simulation I showed today, or the user guide if you have any questions.
I've never seen a user guide. Where is that?
Well, if you go to docs.siminsights.com, or you click the button that I showed here within the application, this has all the information about what you might want to know for creation, how things work, and things like that.
Okay.